It's the most popular thing in the world. Right behind SpongeBob SquarePants and lawnmowers.
Well, I'm honored to be counted amongst those.
I don't think...
That's what you meant, right?
Yeah,
we're the most popular.
I guess if you play it back, that's probably almost the opposite of what I said. I think. We'll find out, though, next time.
When we actually ever get around to listening to any of these episodes.
I listen to every single one of these
episodes. That's because you edit it. It doesn't count. That's part of your job.
Yeah, it's like your idea. It's like when you go to your child's recital.
Yeah, you're being punished for making them do this thing.
And welcome back to the 7th Star to the Right podcast. This is session 53. How are you guys doing?
Nice.
Good.
It's like pretty good.
It's raining outside.
It's raining outside, and we're starting a lot earlier than we normally do.
It was going to rain on my head. It was very sad.
Don't let that your tears eyes start turning red. That's it.
Okay. Just
don't cry, Chris.
Let's start this train wreck. Let's go.
That is a song.
What do you guys remember from last session?
Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Beats.
Let me just scroll down here.
Your boy Deacon is known to somebody that we know.
Deacon Adams is friends with Dr. Lucius
Deacon's
Leggett.
probably just a very common name.
Yeah, 100%.
What are the odds there are two
not
Deacons in the universe?
Vaguely referencing Douglas Adams. No, that would be too much.
That's it.
Is it not?
But no.
Fascinating. I just assumed because that one also has robots in it.
No, and I can't tell you where that came from. Otherwise,
until we get there.
Things away.
Yeah, cool. Well, that's my current guess.
But of course, this could be a completely different Deacon. There could very well be two Deacons.
Nope.
Not
allowed.
I mean, Jeff, we've been literally all
we've
over
already
the
had
universe.
We've already had two Brians. My heart cannot handle anymore. Thank you.
Wait until we get to the planet they're from.
Yeah, so we learned
give a little bit more context as to where Deacon's name came up. And I don't think we said anything in the moment. I just saw Philip and Kirsten sort of look at each other.
Yeah, because sometimes we like to leave things subtle, Jeff, for your storytelling narrative. Just because we get it doesn't mean all the audience will catch on. And then later we will be like...
enlighten the audience now.
Yes, okay.
Well, I suppose we already have been, but...
Yes, so Deacon Adams is a vague colleague of Dr. Lucius Leggett. He just mentioned him in passing. But more importantly, the name Deacon originally came up on the Calvin estate as somebody who was there before me, left behind a bag of weird blue crystalline stuff that I did really bad on the roll. So definitely don't know what's weird about that.
It's different from yours. You can't tell what's different about it. We've said this multiple times now.
I'm aware it ticks you off every single time, so I'm going to keep doing it.
Must be space rocks.
It's probably space rocks. Got you.
Must be just some crushed space rocks. Anyway, please
There's
go.
probably
Keep
nothing.
going.
Anyway, this is a thing around his neck, and he left it there for some reason. And then also he was looking for places that Dr. Samantha Calvin might also be, and there is some evidence to suggest that maybe he could be the one who started the fire on my spaceship.
Oh.
Station, not ship.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought this was like Space Billy Joel. We didn't start this fire on my space, in parentheses, on my spaceship.
I was just thinking
Amazing.
like Piano Man, the entertainer, the stranger.
It's been burning since the space station was turning. All right,
oh God. Okay. So there is definitely that. That was a little tiny shred of that episode mentioned in passing. But then also we got a whole bunch of backstory involving all of the 4 different city towers that exist on the edge of this lake, and how the ones that are kind of opposite of each other are friends with each other because they don't compete as much.
Mm-hmm.
All 4 of them have come together to deal with the problem that is Wickliffe. And the problem that is Wickliffe is that we've said this repeatedly, but a while back, they started producing a lot more stuff. And then also they've been dealing with, Nova Voxus has been dealing with mind-controlled creatures attacking them on a regular basis. And then we heard this recording that semi-strongly implied that something bad has happened to the people of Wickliffe.
Yeah.
And we're pretty sure we know what that is. We think it's zombies, but we will find out pretty soon.
Pretty soon. Yeah.
Yep.
There was a recording from, I can't remember whether it was, I think it was Sona Bhutan, between one of their spies in Wickliffe. It was interrupted by some kind of commotion.
By some kind of murdery commotion.
That's what it seemed like. And then additionally, their Novavoxus is a bit of a haven when it comes to people. It's one of the ones that has like a positive number of people coming to it, as like refugees and immigrants and stuff like that. And people in Novavoxus can't reach families from Wickliffe specifically.
Yep.
So like there was a couple of things. Something's wrong with Wickliffe.
Like we said, zombies.
Yep. So Aleta offered you
money,
quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
You guys remember the number?
It was originally 40,000, but then I asked for half of my payment in
scrap to send back to Glasgow.
To send back to Glasgow 5. So now it's at 35,000. Do not test me, Jeffrey.
Okay. Yeah. There were two other pretty big things that I have in my notes. Do you guys remember the other things that remember? As Kirsten takes a sip from her caffeinated
I'm caffeinating.
Seltzer.
Leave me alone. It's early. Yes. Nona confronted Dr. Lucius Leggett about the fact that he's pretty sure that she's a true AI. We had a Twilight moment. It was great. Out loud. So now he has that confirmed. And I also did not share that with the rest of the crew. So no one else knows that besides Nona.
Fun times.
And slight backstory on that. Like, it didn't seem important because we were pretty sure he knew. So that's kind of, it's not that I'm actively hiding it. It's just we were pretty sure that he knew. And then I said, we're pretty sure that you know. And he's like, yes, I know. So that doesn't really seem like new information.
Yeah, he had a strong idea. He was actually working on a tool known as metagoggles that was left behind by one of the Terran Mandate, one would assume, attack and on these megastructures pre-Scream. And these metagoggles are meant to hone into metadimensional energy. And these ones specifically seem to be modified to lock into the frequencies of metadimensional energy that is oftentimes found in true AI.
Which is just rude.
Yeah. So he was working on those and was basically like, I'm gonna fix these, and then I'd like to share them with you. Like very clearly saying like, I think, but I don't know. So he was like 95% sure, probably.
Yeah, I mean, rounding.
Yeah, rounding.
Robots are capable of rounding. They just don't like doing it.
Yep. And there was one other big thing. So obvious. What was that?
We ended up as the next big thing that we ended up going to the Firefang's camp, or is there something else?
No, that was where we ended up.
Okay,
but,
cool.
The other big thing is Nona plugged into Novavoxus.
Oh, yes, it did.
Oh, yeah.
That was great.
And
I like that. Let's do it again.
Yeah. It was partially to like get a feeling for what it was going to be like to plug into Wickliffe. Is that correct?
I was trying to get a sense of like the systems and stuff, and assuming we've repeatedly said that they're all carbon copies of each other. So it's kind of like, before you buy a new computer, if your friend has the exact make and model that you're intending to buy, you can mess around with it and see if you like it and get familiar with it, was the idea.
That makes sense.
Playing with technology.
I always become one with my friends' computers.
Just plug yourself right into the side of it.
I am the terminal.
It really does help with understanding where everything is. Yeah.
Yeah, when you pseudo yourself.
Pseudo makes me a sandwich.
Those are the big things that I remember happening. Also, you met Quark because I decided you were going to meet Quark.
That's really big for you.
Very important.
It's very big.
I wanted to do.
Then he left. That's also true.
He went, "Hi guys."
They just
I'm here.
effed off.
Look at my crazy arms.
Crazy arms and crazy eyes.
Yes, he has those retractable and extendable eyes. so you can look real close at things. So it was this entire group. So obviously the four of you guys, including Claire, it was all of the kind of important NPCs of Novavoxus, Aleta, Red, Volker, Dr. Lucius Leggett, as well as Quark. You guys were all on this shuttle together. You've landed in the camp and were directed towards this like a hangar. So tall ceiling, kind of domed shaped, cylindrically shaped. It's quite open when you walked into it. Actually, I kind of railroad you guys into walking in. Does everyone want to walk into here knowing that Picledes is probably in here?
I'd prefer to skip, but
you do not want to go inside?
No. He wants to skip.
I understand.
Oh,
I understand your
on his way.
confusion.
I see. He prefers to. So Alex is skipping into the hangar.
100%.
no.
Displaying confidence.
He'd prefer to skip, but is woefully aware of society's gaze on some people, so he will walk.
Okay.
But I wanted to make sure that
yes.
everybody was aware of the thought process that was going on in his head.
I love that.
His ankle also kind of hurts today.
So is everyone else just okay with walking in? Nona and Micah,
Yep.
you were the two that kind of met Picledes to begin with.
We discussed ahead of time, like the fact that Aleta was going to sort of be there and play referee.
All right, cool.
Also don't forget your anime mom in the corner, Jeff.
Yes,
Very important.
Yes. So, all right. So everyone is coming along with.
Mm-hmm.
There were 4 Ursim in there, all dressed up in various forms of armor. There's Picledes that you recognized before, Celine, who you also recognized, a different Ursim who you would surmise to be Terry, one of the other Sun Guards, the other one other than Barry.
Yeah.
I love my naming conventions.
You've done this to yourself.
What?
Terry, Barry, and
They don't
Celine.
start with the same letter, so it's not like Diane and Danny. It is just Terry and Barry.
Got it.
To describe Terry again, who you would surmise to be Terry,
Right.
an Ursim man with similar fur patterning to Picledes and Rodana. Space Panda.
Space Panda.
White furred with black patches under the eyes, on the eyes, ears, and arms. His power armor has clearly been well used, as there's very little of its surface that isn't marred by some kind of deep cut or scorch. Some gaps in the armor are so deep that you could swear you can see the skin and fur underneath. They're all sitting over one of those tables that has all of these different pawns on it, very clearly setting up for the assault of Wickliffe. And then there was, as someone pointed out, I can't remember who, a smaller Ursim woman with soft auburn fur, using the hair and fur on the back of her head. She has the anime mom hairdo where the ponytail gracefully sits over the front of her shoulder.
It's braided,
The
right?
ponytail, yes, it is braided.
Yeah.
And of course it's braided.
Very important.
And something in her eyes reveals the gentle kindness you weren't aware an Ursim was capable of, but also a deep sadness.
So we've got
I love
2
my-
NPCs
I
marked
think
for
you
death
just-
now.
I
We've
think
got to
you
keep
just
her
made
alive
us
and Red alive.
Slightly racist. You're like, we didn't know bears could look kind. You just forced that character choice on us, Jeff. And I'm not sure I appreciate it.
That is fair. Ursim tend to be a little. It's
Moving on.
Moving on. Yeah. So she's over there sitting in a chair, kind of by herself, away from the group as you all approach. Picledes immediately turns to this group that is approaching, sees Aleta and kind of stands at attention, and then looks over at the rest of you who are joining and immediately locks eyes with you, Nona.
Sure.
And
I gaze back blankly.
there's a tenseness that fills up within him.
Literally only coming from one side. I've got
No, yeah,
idea.
you just like.
I'm just like, we're looking at each other now. That's neat.
And Picledes speaks up and says, Aleta, why are these people here? Aleta says, Picledes, we have a bit of a conversation to have. I have an idea based off of new evidence found by Dr. Lucius Leggett here, that we might be able to do a sort of two-pronged attack so that you and your team here will face less casualties overall. Kind of looks over at the four of you and says, "But why them, though?" You guys just standing there like, yeah. Aleta says, Picledes, can we go off the side and talk for a moment? Because Jeff doesn't want to do this entire conversation.
No, Jeff, do the entire conversation.
So he kind of huffs, and they walk to the far end of the hangar,
I stick out my
back
tongue while
and
his
forth.
back is turned.
You guys are kind of left to your devices for the moment. Claire's just kind of looking around at everything. Red and Volker are discussing things with one another. Dr. Lucius Leggett is continuously looking over at Nona, and then realizing he's looking too much at Nona, and then goes back to some papers that he has pulled out. Meanwhile, Celine obviously recognizes you guys and goes back to just looking down at the setup of everything in front of her, along with Terry and the Ursim woman in the corner, who you do not know to be Mari.
We know to be Mari, Jeff.
Is just sitting and waiting patiently. Do you guys do anything in the interim?
Yeah, I'm gonna actually lean over to Alex and go, "Should I apologize for shooting him?"
I think that's, you know what? I was going to say that's normally what people do if they shoot somebody, but I don't think they do if you shoot them on purpose. I don't think you necessarily have to. If it comes up and you feel sorry for it, apologize. But I don't know. There's some people who don't take apologies in stride, and I have the inkling that Picledes is one of them. So yeah.
Okay.
Alex is otherwise just kind of like standing around. If he makes eye contact with any of the bears that he doesn't know, he'll just kind of like wave.
Terry is very much focused on the table in front of him with all of the pawns and looking at the different defenses and possibly attack strategies. Celine and him are going back and forth with it. Celine seems to be doing most of the talking. He seems to be doing mostly nods, grunts, and shakes of the head. Not an Ursim of many words, because I don't want to give him a voice and talk with him.
This is all you're doing. All of your characters are bears.
It's another NPC.
Yeah.
You do, however, lock eyes with the Ursim woman in the on the side. And when you give her the little hand wave, she does a little like acknowledgement, like a little nod of acknowledgement, raises her hand up a little bit, and then kind of continues to sit in the corner. And Claire walks up next to you, Alex, and says, "So, are we just gonna? When are we gonna? I could,
Gonna what?
Right. Okay.
Let's see. And Alex will kind of like lean down and says, see, Claire, we're trying to not draw Picledes' attention to the other intentions for why we're here, yeah? So if you want to act, obviously you're more than free to. Just do it quietly, especially while Picledes is like in the room.
Well, I can, talk to her in her head. I don't know if that'll freak her out.
Oh, probably.
Okay, just hold tight then.
Oh, you can do whatever you think is right. You are a fully fledged member of the team and have the ability to work without my or anyone's approval.
Plus, you are small, so maybe people will notice you less.
I think, you know what, now, like, he's distracted. I'm still hungover. It's been like a month and a half. Like, he's over there. Now is probably the best time. If you guys don't want to do it, I'll go talk to her.
I can do it. I maybe like to do it. You can do it though, Micah, if you'd like. As she sort of goes to grab her arm and crosses in front of herself.
Yeah. All right.
Mike, are you gonna then go over?
So I'm gonna schmooze my way over. I'm gonna I'm
Ooze,
gonna
as in liquid form. I just kind of
try and peer over at the little combat map and be like, oh, that's interesting. Look around at some other bears and then be like, oh, you seem nice. Let's randomly strike up a conversation.
Oh,
Bear, I don't know.
You take some time to sort of walk over the table. Celine gives you a side glance and you're like, yeah, that's a thing right there. And then sort of
Look at
walks
that.
off.
I mean, to be fair, if anybody was gonna kind of know, I guess Alex also would. Military strategy, though, and have some interest in that, you could probably feign your way through that pretty good.
While Micah is going over to Mari, Alex, to not draw too much attention to the fact that we're specifically going to Mari, is gonna, I guess, walk over to Terry.
Okay. So he is stood across from this table from Celine, and he is just looking down at the encampment and the different formations and armaments, and you assume different platoons sort of set up. And he sees you approach and just says, "Hey,
I'm Alex." Shake his hand. Or I reach out to shake his hand.
Terry." And he reaches out and grabs your hand. His hand is quite large. He is a big bear.
Cool. I guess we'll be working together maybe. So I think we're just gonna kind of go around and say hi to everybody.
Sounds good.
Cool.
As he looks back down and says, I think that Team A should probably be over here, and goes back into conversation with Celine. So, all right, just laid the foundation as Micah slowly makes her way over to this Ursim woman. She sees you approach and says,
Yeah.
Go on.
"Hello." I was debating between hello,
Claire but bear.
it is another bear, or hello. But I've done all bears as the same, so I must do it.
This is pretty good.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay, got one.
My name is Mari.
Oh, God,
No, she says, hello. How are you? What's your name?
Hey, yeah. I'm Micah. Nice to meet you. And with this group, we're gonna do maybe this little operation going into Wickliffe here. What's your name?
Mari. I'm Mari. Medic for the Firefangs.
Oh, nice. You work with them long?
Yeah, a couple of years now. They found me on a planet with not very much, and they took me in. So yeah, I've been with them for probably going on 4 years now.
Oh, nice.
We have your.
I
We
can't
have.
think of a good-
remember what
I can't-
the thing is?
I'm gonna
Do you forget it?
No.
Say the thing.
I'm gonna gracelessly just say, I heard from someone that there are some nice flowers on the south side of camp. God, what kind of flowers? were there?
Lilacs.
He doesn't know.
Micah doesn't know.
I forget, but also Micah forgets, and I roll to remember lilacs.
Please do. I don't even know what that. It's probably some intelligence check.
Intelligence, no.
Intelligence, no.
Okay.
You were the one who wanted to do this.
Yeah, I know. I say a lot of things. But that's fine.
Sent the psychic.
It is.
We did.
So that's 7.
Okay. You do remember that is in fact lilacs on the south side of camp.
Yeah.
That was the phrase that Arcus gave
Yeah,
you.
so
But it
There's
might
flowers.
be lilies.
Yeah,
You
there's some.
just walk up and you're like, "There's flowers
There's
somewhere."
there's some flowers. On the
Wink.
south, lilacs. They're lilacs. That's what I've heard. Might want to check them out sometime. They're pretty nice.
At
Flowers.
this, she perks up and says, I'm sorry, could you say that once more?
Yeah, for sure. The lilacs on the south side of camp.
Wink.
Yeah, just straight up.
Right.
Wink.
Are
Yes.
you propositioning?
Very good.
I'm sorry. Have we met before?
I don't think we have, but I've heard a little bit about you.
I see. There's just this, I don't know, bubbling emotion that you can see coming from within her. From whom exactly have you heard about me?
I'm pretty sure it's someone you go back with. Might try not to say the name out loud for prying ears.
Did you say that part out
Oh,
loud?
What did
yes.
you first say?
In the sing-song voice, too.
I see. Okay. When I'm sorry, but
Let's call him Marcus.
I see. When I'm sorry to inform you, but Marcus passed away a couple months back.
Yeah, no, that might not be true. In fact, it's not. He was on Ursim in the Magalka system, and we found him there, and then we brought him here.
And she just has this very incredulous look on her face and says, I see. Where is he now? If he's not.
I'm pretty sure he's on the south side of camp with the lilacs.
I see.
It's a code.
The code for Myri, the code chosen specifically.
Have some matters to attend to in the few hours after this meeting, but I would very much like to go to the south side of camp and see such lilacs, if they are there indeed.
Not dead.
Not dead.
Distinctly not dead.
Yeah, I think I struggle to remember a little bit, but I think that he was just gonna, the lilacs were just gonna be down there for some indeterminate amount of time. So whenever is good. I guess maybe we could escort you when we come back, whatever your schedule looks like.
Let me give you my compat number.
Come on, 8.
It's 4.
Oh, wait, I thought we already did that one.
No, I thought.
Oh,
no.
you did
Alex
6.
has 5 and went up.
Yeah, my bad.
The plot thickens.
It's fine. You have her compat number now.
It's 1-800.
Bears.
Thank you very much, Micah. I thank you. And she there's a lot of emotions happening within her right now. In fact, you do catch a tear that she's able to wipe away. And she says, if you don't mind, I'm gonna head to the restroom real quick. And she gets up to just sort of walk away. Picledes sees her starting to head off and just kind of says something over that you can't quite tell because he was at the far end.
He goes,
Yeah, in a low rumble, and she heads out of the hangar. And so
We did it. That's
did
done.
it.
Brush the dirt off our hands.
Quest
and
complete.
Continue on our.
Remind me real quick, how is Arcus getting here? He didn't come with you guys.
We separated with specifically them being like, we will go to the south side of camp.
All right, they'll make
So-
their own way.
It was the assumption that they had a way to do that. If
Okay.
they did not, it is very silly of them to have.
That's fine. They'll find their way there.
Better not break my ship while doing it. I'll tell you that much.
I don't think you gave them the keys to the ship.
Yes, perfect.
So after a few moments longer, Picledes and Aleta come back. Picledes is very not super happy about the situation. Has this very grumpy look on his face, and Aleta's like rubbing her eyebrow very clearly, having to go over several things with him multiple times. like a very not a circular conversation, and says, "All right, I think, are we agreed, Picledes, on this course of action?" He says, I suppose I'd very much prefer it if, Aleta, you allowed perhaps some of my own men to do this for you. But if you indeed are deciding to go with these strangers, then I suppose there's nothing that can be done about it. And she says, I'm glad we have come to that conclusion then. And so she calls over Red and Volker and Dr. Lucius Leggett and starts going over the plans and says, okay, the idea that we have here is we have the encampment. The encampment right now is outside of the firing range of the anti-aircraft weaponry that each of these megastructures is equipped with. Ideally, so that we reduce the number of losses on our ends. We do not step within their quote-unquote kill zone until we are able to open the door. The less time we are out in front without defenses, the better. But however, we would probably like to avoid our scalpel, you four there, from being too harassed before you were able to get the doors open. So we have discussed with Picledes, and Picledes sort of nods his head, that we will be able to start a bombardment of the walls. We have different forms of mortar and different types of heavy weapons to hopefully gather their attention. Additionally, we're going to be taking a few fighters out and flying them around, generally just making a whole big scene. While that is happening, a shuttle will take you four, and if you would like more men, we can send it along with you, whatever you need, to the cave system below the Wickliffe. And she goes around the back. And so to describe the map that you see in front of you, there's actually a little bit of a river that curls around the outside of this cliff. So you have this large V that goes up in elevation, and on top of at the vertex of this V is Wickliffe. And you can see on the backside of the V where there's the sheer drop, you notice that there is notes about the cave system. So in between the river and this cliff, there's an opening into this cave system that theoretically goes up into the cliff. Make sense?
Vaguely.
Just kind of vaguely.
So V is like this, and Wickliffe is down at the base of it.
No.
And
Other way.
Okay.
The
It's an
vertex is
upside down
elevated.
V.
Yeah, that makes more sense. But then the cliff is here, not here.
Basically,
Or is Wickliffe like perched right over the top of the cliff itself?
yes.
Okay, cool. Got it.
Yeah.
Now I'm
on a cliff.
picturing one of them spooky towers. I know that's not right, but that's my headcanon until we get there and I see it.
There's just a dark cloud over
Exactly.
top. It's
Constantly.
the occasional lightning bolt. No rain though.
No. Just lightning.
Just lightning. And it does seem that it's just darker there for some reason.
Why is it called Wickliffe?
Is that an actual question? Or
It's like it's dark cliff. Like it's not white cliff.
Fair.
But that doesn't start with a W.
It's ironic.
David.
Isn't it ironic? And so Aleta says, any questions, concerns? Is there anything more that we can provide you for before you head in? Yes. No, you seem to have raised your hand.
I need guns. I would like to purchase guns, please.
Do you not have your own guns?
Most of them are laser based. I need single-handed weapons, 4 of them to be precise, that are not laser based.
2 for
You're
each
checking.
hand.
You're checking your notes. I believe we came back with rifles and shotguns. I didn't think we grabbed many of the pistols. If I am wrong about that, please let me know.
There should
No,
be 10
you're-
of each.
I already
You're
have a
right.
mag pistol.
Yeah, rifle, shotgun, and submachine guns, which are not one-handed pistols.
Yes, I require one-handed things.
Okay.
Or is submachine
We have so
guns
many
not
guns.
one-handed?
I'm
I
aware.
can't remember. Those are machine pistols. Never mind.
I
What was that,
mean-
Alex?
Claire and I have mag pistols already, but that's not Alex. It's just me
Okay.
clarifying. Alex does have his hand raised.
We can have a conversation. You don't need to raise your hand.
Well, I don't want to speak out of turn. Can I go?
Yes, you may go.
Great. Cool. So, I feel as though our entry is weighed heavily on negligence of the sapient variety, more like eyes not looking at screens in case that there are any cameras or anything. Is the entrance known to Wickliffe? Could they have set up cameras or sensors or anything? And if so, do we have any way to disrupt them?
And at that, Aleta looks over at Dr. Lucius Leggett, who has just, an overflowing amount of papers in his hands, and he sort of lays some of them out on the table and says, according to my calculations, this intersection should have only been happened probably along the lines of a couple of weeks to a couple of months ago, somewhere within that time range. When it comes to the drilling process itself, it is mostly automated. And then once at the very least, that's what Novavoxis has been able to do. I'm not entirely sure what Wickliffe has been able to accomplish. Theoretically, at one point in time, there were then drones that went in and retrieved the ore and brought it back to the refineries. What Wickliffe what Novavoxis does, and what I assume Wickliffe does, is then have manual laborers come into the mines, retrieve the neoiridium and various forms of precious metals, and returns them to the surface. It is very likely that these drills have surpassed the manual laborers, so to speak, and this intersection has not been discovered. It's not a very, considering one is digging down, it's one would hazard a guess that you don't see it as a possible form of way to get into the megastructure, but we have not actually investigated this cavern at all, or what may be inside of it. Only that it is aware on our notes that are some hundreds of years old, when these surveyors were looking around all of the various locations before the different factions were more solidified.
Great.
I have a question for GM Jeff.
Yes, what's up?
So a couple episodes I was looking into the mind control things, and we established some things, but I've thought of more questions.
Okay.
So the thing that we established is one, I cannot do it right now. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
But in this circumstance, I believe we established that having a, what is that, EMP grenade,
yeah.
would disrupt this in some form.
Yes, it would probably harm the electronics within the device itself.
Do I know anything about if the device gets shut off, do the creatures die?
You would probably need to talk to someone who is a little bit more medically inclined than you are. You know what?
I was looking at that with Dr. Leggett for what it is worth. I think he was there while we were digging into it, at least.
So you want to
initially.
retcon and ask that question?
I mean, I can also go back and ask him again if you'd like to role play this out. I intend to ask it before leaving, because I think that is pretty critical for us to know.
Yeah, so the conversation would have went something like this. Considering the fact that these devices don't always need to be on, like they don't always need to be receiving some kind of signal, means that if they are broken and just inertly within the matter itself, theoretically it shouldn't cause issues. There's probably a possibility that it could affect things as it does conduct electricity to some extent, may affect things within the brain of the person, even with it broken within them.
Sure.
He's not entirely sure. If he had to guess, he would say they'd be able to live for at very least a little bit, but it may be a not great experience for them.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. That is as far as he could, because he leans more engineering.
Yes, but also he is the person you've been sending us to for mostly medical stuff.
Yes. He's like, I don't know why they keep sending me people. I do have a PhD. I have several PhDs, actually. None of them are for medical assistance.
Yeah.
But I do have some vague understanding of human Ursim and torque biology.
Several PhDs and a metal tin of Cars 2 branded Band-Aids.
Amazing. That's all you need. That's really all you need. Okay, cool. So based on that, it seems to me roughly like this is not so much a search and rescue, but up to y'all.
Theoretically, it would be possible, possibly. But
we'll save it for the really important
there's a
NPC
lot
that we
of
find.
modifiers on that, and you aren't 100% sure one way or another, because this is a kind of almost foreign, like this is an artifact. It's built on pre-tech sort of methodologies, stuff that, while you might be pre-tech yourself, you don't have the full capacity to understand what
I'll get there someday. I've been studying it a lot. Anyway, thank you.
So does that answer your question?
I believe so.
Okay.
Alex has another question for the planning committee.
Alex, again, you don't need to raise your hand.
Oh no, sorry. I raised my left hand this time because it's a different question. So, assuming that nothing goes well and we are forced to fall back, what does extraction look like? Do we have any way? Do we have a meeting place downriver?
Well, Aleta speaks up at that and says, we can leave the shuttle there. We could also have the shuttle fly away, probably to hopefully draw less attention to the area. We can have you in contact and have them be on standby nearby, such that if you do need to make a quick exit, you can join them up at the mouth of the cave again and fly away. In that particular case, we would have to move on with our primary plan, which would be to do a frontal assault of Wickliffe. So ideally, we would be able to get in and avoid that to reduce the number of casualties and destruction of property. So, but would that fulfill that particular aspect, your concern there?
No, but it definitely helps to have a ship there. Okay, so worst case scenario, we have to hold ground, but it is the mouth of a cave, which isn't the worst place to do a final stand, I guess, while we wait for the ship to go down. This is kind of a big ask, but is there any rebreathers or anything on hand, just in case of a more expedient retreat?
As in to go into the river?
Yeah, just to straight up jump right in there, yeah.
Yeah, we can certainly.
Straight down.
Aleta looks over at Picledes and says, I assume you guys have free breathers. He sort of makes a grimace at that and says, yeah, we can get you what you need.
Hopefully it won't come to that.
We would like him back if possible.
If possible, yeah, for sure.
If we do not die, we will make sure to return them.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if we can get him back, even if you do.
Okay.
Efficient.
Well, in that case...
Aleta at that sort of look, like gives him a side eye and just goes back to you guys.
Yeah, in that case, the one last thing I'd like to determine is where we're most likely to wash up our cold corpses. And, maybe if one of our two of us survives, that's where evac can plan on meeting us.
I'm sorry.
So in the worst case,
right,
where there are, let's say, 236 soldiers in the tunnel waiting for us, guns trained. Worst case again.
Right.
237.
240, that's right. That's impossible.
Well, 240, I think we can handle. 237, it becomes more. It becomes
Where did the
less
other
of
three
a,
go?
Where did the other three
They're
go?
circling around behind.
The other three clog up the tunnel, and it becomes more of a like hold them at the hot gates. There, the numbers are confronting. 237.
I see.
I see. Yeah, just a rough estimate.
This is amazing.
So we have to jump off the cliff because there's no way that we can hold ground against 237 people. Our bodies washed somewhere down the river. Is there any way to figure out where they could end up? And oh no, we've lost contact with them. Picledes, you would know where to go to retrieve your 4 little things that we'd have in our mouths.
Yeah, I suppose we can quickly do a quick estimate as to whereabouts you all will wash up and make that the evac point.
Be mad.
Yeah, in the worst case scenario, where
In
we
the
don't
worst case
immediately go.
scenario.
I love worst case scenarios.
Is that what we're going to be planning for?
Yes, always. It's one of the many plans that we're going to have.
Okay. And he makes a little call on his compad.
It's very small.
He opens it up in his hands. And he has to hold it up like between 2 fingers to him.
Fantastic.
And says, "Yeah, I'm going to need a river
survey.
What?
River survey.
A river survey.
There you go.
Find out where if objects of about the size of a person were dropped into the river, where
Approximately.
theoretically they would wash up." And
I
you
love
hear
that.
like, "We'll do, boss," on the other side.
Fantastic.
So that is all planned out. So, okay. Aleta turns back to you guys. So he says, okay, so we have evacuation plan in place.
Perfect.
If there are some things in there that we don't know about, would you like Red or Volker to come with you? Picledes has also said that he would be willing to offer some of his men as well.
I'm afraid his men are going to try to kill us.
Are you going to say that out loud?
Depends like where. So I'm
Stage
going to
whisper.
try and save that with some air of privacy. If Picledes is standing right there, I'm gonna like grab Alex and like just sort of whisper into his.
It was
fair.
whispered, but it was whispered in a dead silence.
So you can kind of, I don't know.
It might be best if we just have as small a crew as possible, not attract too much attention if someone sees us walking in.
Yeah, 2 people can make a big difference in those tunnels.
Yeah.
And at that, Dr. Lucius Leggett, over this conversation of how many people are going in, has started to tremble a little bit more and says, are you sure that perhaps it could be helpful to have, at the very least, a few more people to guarantee the safety of everyone?
Well, I mean, given Volker's
he loves
broken
me.
arm, if you're offering anybody, I guess we'll take Red.
Oh no!
If that's
no.
what it comes down
No!
to.
You bastard, Jeff!
If you're
Why would you
really
do this to
sure.
us?
That if you think that it will be so helpful.
I do. Is Red, are you okay with that? And says, yeah,
This is your last
Last
day.
day.
You don't want,
This is my last
you
day.
don't want to
retirement.
just take it
Might as
easy.
well-
And
no,
suddenly
might
it's
as
an
well
escort quest.
go out and get some good work done before my retirement party is going to be a good time. Yeah, I'd be willing to help out with you guys if you're willing to have me along.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
fine.
All right. I suppose Volker, you can then drive the shuttle to pick us up and drop us off. Yeah, I can do that. That's something I can certainly do. We've done some work on my arm, so I feel pretty good about driving. But yeah, I don't know if I'd be very good in a fight right now.
I'm gonna speak up to the whole group and say, do you all have any EMP grenades?
No, I've used all of them. They've been very helpful, though.
Picledes at that says, we have regular grenades, but EMP grenades, a little hard to come by, and we don't oftentimes face a bunch of robotic enemies or require frying of different devices. Generally can just come and go as we please.
Are fragmentation grenades okay to use on this planet? In this area? Around Wickliffe?
Certain areas. Wickliffe, you might want to be a little careful about the Vistosan wastes do dip in a little bit closer to Wickliffe comparatively than any of the other ones. So it's possible that there could be some methanol pools here and there. So he kind of just shrugs, says, things go boom, they might go boom a little bit more, but as long as you stay back, you probably should be fine.
Cool. Any plastic explosives?
We have some demo charges if you'd like to take some of those as well. I
Yeah.
might need to charge you for those since I can't pick them back up afterwards. Unless
Well,
You can give back.
if they're unused, can we return them? Is there a return policy?
there's a return policy, sure.
I like you.
I do too.
I'm
yes.
excited. Alex is like, all right, cool. When you're working with him logistically, it's fine.
Now I feel bad for shooting him.
He asked you to again.
I know. I'm very easily confused.
He is also very clearly does not care about your safety or well-being.
That's
to be
fine.
fair, neither do we.
That is also
That's
fair.
Alex's job.
Yep.
So we got rebreathers. We got some demo charges. Anything else that you guys need from us?
Do you give my guns?
He just kind of, yeah, I suppose we can see what we have in the armory. He's starting to get a little bit annoyed with things. He does have this very underlying just anger, it seems, at
Yeah.
everyone and everything
Yeah.
underneath that might be peeking out occasionally. Yeah, I suppose we could do that as well. How many do you need?
4, please.
Well, what if Red's coming too?
How many demo charges?
3.
3 demo charges, 4 one-handed ballistic weapons,
2 turtle doves.
2 for each hand.
4
And a partridge in a
rebreathers, and a
Well,
partridge and a
five
pear tree.
rebreathers
escape
for
vehicle.
Red.
Oh,
Red, do you want the
right.
rebreather?
Yeah, if we're gonna jump into the river, it seems like a good idea to
We're
have
not
one.
planning on it, but we are planning for it.
If we're planning for it, I think it'd be a good idea for me to have one.
There you go.
Yeah.
I actually have that
stuff, so we can
tattooed.
mark that off.
We're not planning on it, but we are planning for it.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Okay. Any other things that you guys want? The demo charges probably cost like 100 credits each. I could quickly look that up. They're 250 a pop, and you'll also be, I assume, buying the weapons,
Yeah, I'm happy to do
and then
that.
possibly returning them for a lower amount or something.
You can have other
That's
guns.
generally how those things work, right? I don't think they'd have. Oh, they would have mag pistols. Okay, yeah, you guys have mag pistols. 400 for each of those.
We only need 3 unless we're getting one for Red.
I was in. This is for me. This is not for any of you.
This is you want 4 guns?
I need 4 guns.
Oh. Okay.
That is very specific. Okay.
2 for each hand.
Okay, 1 second.
Well, the trigger's like
sorry,
this.
give it that one more time. We got 3 charges at 250 apiece, and then 4 guns at how much?
400
400.
400 each or 400 total?
each.
Cool.
If you want mag pistols.
Yes, please.
Okay. 400 each.
And now for the bullets.
Oh, that's where he gets you. 1,000 credits a bullet.
All right. So, do you want us paying for these up front and then giving them back later, money exchanging hands?
Yeah, how about just if you lose them or use them, we can subtract that much. But that is what you guys are bringing right now.
Perfect.
100%. Love that.
You guys have rebreathers. You have mag pistol. You have 5 rebreathers, 4 mag pistols, 3 demo charges, 2. I don't know.
We have no,
2 NPCs that are coming with us.
You only have 2
NPCs.
NPCs, and a
And-
partridge and a pear tree.
Yes.
and a guy whose last day is today.
Fantastic.
All right. Anything else planning wise that you guys might need? We're hoping that, so we need some kind of, well, I guess the doors coming open will be some kind of signal. I'm not entirely sure what kind of service that you'll get inside a cave. But if there is some kind of problem make sure to let Volker know, and he can radio back and let us know how that whole mission has gone.
They're dead. They're all dead.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks for the update, Volker.
That's good for me.
All right.
I would like to go back to the ship and do some stuff before we leave directly on this mission, given that we have taken the shuttle out here.
Yeah, we believe that there is. We're going to plan to attack tonight.
Okay.
The cover of darkness will hopefully allow us to have a little bit more confusion as to what kind of force that we're coming with, and additionally will make your approach to the cave easier, especially with a low-powered shuttle shouldn't show up on the targeting monitors of the different various anti-aircraft. So we were planning on heading out around sundown, probably a little bit after that. So you have that time before to do whatever you want. We can give you the shuttle to head back to Novavoxus for a brief stint, but we'll ask you to be here probably around 5 or so. So you got about 5 hours.
Oh.
Sound good?
All right.
Wonderful.
And Picledes says, if possible, please stick to either this hangar or the landing pads. We have very sensitive goings on in the rest of the camp. Aleta, would that be a problem? She says, no. We obviously don't want to interfere with you guys getting ready. So please try and stick to this planning hangar or the landing pads and try and just stay out of their way. They have a lot of things to take care of. All sound good?
Perfect.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Go team.
Awesome. And so at that, everyone starts to kind of go their separate ways. Picledes says, I'll make sure I get you that requisitioned materials. And he just heads off back towards where Mari headed out. Celine and Terry continue to look over the table at the various pawns. Red and Volker seem to just be ready to hang out here. Dr. Lucius Leggett going over papers, and Aleta has left the hangar through where you came in looks like to make some calls. What do you guys want to do in the interim?
Alex looks over towards Micah and tries to give like a little questioning thumbs up, like a
Did we do it?
did you talk to? Are we all set there?
Yeah. Thumbs up.
Big thumbs up.
Should we communicate that?
Where? I mean, they were just going to be at the place, right?
I'll text them.
Yeah. And text them.
I'll go.
Send a quick text.
Yeah, I'll be like, "Hey, it's Alex. We met your lover. She's on the way," and then winky face.
Amazing.
You get back. She's not my lover. I'm never sharing another personal, intimate moment with you again. And then ... Thank you.
I've enjoyed all of our moments together, especially the intimate ones. That's a second follow-up message. And then a third follow-up message, winky face.
Yes. I love it. I love it so much. So do we have access to our ship?
You would have to go back to Novavoxus. You didn't fly over and know.
Yeah. So I want to make sure we go back to
you would
our
have
ship.
some time to go back to your ship.
Cool.
Probably the flight to and from will probably take between like 30 minutes to an hour or so. So if you want to make sure you get back in time, you only have about 4-ish hours or 3-ish hours back at the Phoenix.
Yeah, I think it would potentially be a good idea for us to sort of return to our home base and like load out on stuff. I don't know if anyone has anything that they wish to do around here specifically, but maybe let's do those things first if they exist and then go back.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah, that sounds good.
we should eat. Make sure everyone make sure that you eat. Obviously, no, you don't have to, but you know.
Yes, because I already ate before coming here. She looks around nervously.
It's not time to carbo load, right? It's too close to the time.
Well, don't eat so that you can't move, but you know, don't starve yourself, or else you won't be able to move.
Maybe a medium amount of carbo loading, because we do have 4 to 5 hours.
Okay. I can make some pasta for us.
Great.
Okay. So you guys head back to Novavoxus briefly. You were shuttled over. You can be shuttled back. What do you want to be doing in the interim? I assume getting kitted out, getting your affairs in order. Nona, are you working on something awful that I don't want to even ask about?
Jeff, I would like to turn on my robot army, please.
That is why you asked for the extra guns.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Right. You can
It's
do
finally
so.
time.
You can do so.
I figured most of them. So I have a total of 5 robots at my disposal. Or
Disposal.
as disposal, yes, very much disposal. Except one of them is EDI. So
Are you bringing EDI 246?
I want to have a conversation with him. That is part of this thing.
Okay, sure. He is waiting obediently in the hangar when you return.
Yes.
He says, "Hello. How was your trip to the Firefang's encampment?"
It went fine, which I believe is roughly what we could hope for. They do not like us very much. I believe it is because I shot one of them.
Shooting does not tend to make friends, as I have learned.
I have learned this as well, too. It's a day for learning. So, we are about to go into a rather dangerous situation.
I see.
Yes, I wanted to give you the option to join us if you so desired. I'm not going to request that you do. It is a new experience. It is very exciting, but also comes with an increased risk of death.
I see. New experiences are very exciting. Death could theoretically be a new experience as well. I haven't experienced death before.
As I understand it, it is not very stimulating.
I see. I will avoid this experience, as it will probably be the last experience I have. Yes, I would like to join you. Does that mean I will have some means to defend myself, or will I be there for emotional support?
Let us talk with the rest of the group.
I see.
Come.
I'm excited to come along.
So we go find the rest of the team and say, EDI would like to join us on our adventure.
I believe I could be a great assistance.
It's first of all a mission, I think, more than an adventure.
Fair enough.
Is this really the best time to like for this to be like his first time outside?
We've taken him outside before.
Like
We've
on
just
his
never
legs?
taken him into combat.
Has he walked around outside?
Yeah,
before?
he went on an adventure with us and visited Dr. Lucius. Look, I'm assuming he can walk normal now.
I could walk just fine. It took me a couple of minutes to figure it out. A little bit hard to balance on 2 legs. And walking is just constantly falling forward and then catching yourself. That was a trip. A couple
funny.
of times.
Eddie, have you shot a gun before?
I have not, but I would very much like to. It's a new experience, and I believe I might enjoy it.
I am not intending to give him a gun. I am intending to give him a shock stick.
I do not get a gun?
I do not believe that would be wise at this time. We
I
have
see.
not managed to train you significantly in the proper handling and safe handling of a firearm.
I see. That is fair. I do not have these specifications right now. I can take a shock stick. I know vaguely how to use that. You just press it up against the thing, and then it goes zap.
Press it up against an enemy, and then it goes zap. Yeah.
Yes. Press it up against an enemy, and then it goes zap.
I'm gonna scooch over to Nona. Nona, are you sure this is a good idea?
No, this is why we're consulting with you.
I don't think this is a good idea.
I also do not think it's a good idea.
Perhaps he needs more training first.
Perhaps
Yeah.
this is a paid mission, you know.
I can do it for free. I don't need to be paid.
That's correct.
Not exactly what he meant.
It's also there's a lot of unknowns, and you know, while that is, I'm sure, very fascinating for some of the people here, I personally would prefer not to introduce one more unknown being Eddie's performance in the mission.
Okay, well, it seems like we will have to train you more first
I see.
before taking you with us in
To
the future.
safely use both stun batons and firearms.
That is my thought, yes.
I would enjoy that quite a bit.
Okay, well, apologies that you cannot come with this time, but...
It's okay. Just make sure to come back and not make me wait 600 years.
Yes, that will not be a problem.
Excellent.
And if we don't come back, you should go talk to Dr. Leggett, and I'm sure he will be able to help you with making sure the next 600 years have tasks.
I see. So I wait for your return, and if you do not return, how do I know you won't return?
You should wait at least 4 weeks.
I will wait at least 4 weeks for your return. If you do not return then, I will go seek out Dr. Lucius Leggett, and then I won't be alone for 600 years.
That is
Correct.
Good plan.
Good plan. Communication. It's important within relationships. That's something that I've learned.
I love this robot.
Okay,
I'll wait here then.
great.
Cool.
We're going to set him up with Pong or something. We're going to give him something to do.
The screen shaver comes up onto his face.
Oh, okay,
It's
that's
just
fine.
the DVD logo.
As
of
long
his
as he's
face
all right with
bouncing.
that.
He has like a lot of faces, but my least favorite is when the screen just goes black. Like sometimes it just shows nothing, and that scares me.
Oh, I never considered he might be intimidating. My apologies.
Oh no, he's not intimidating, but he is very scary.
Oh. She ponders this difference for a moment.
Anyway, does anybody know the danger close on the demo charge? I'm gonna Google that.
Space, Google.
Demo charges are generally run out of place explosives beloved of terrorists and adventurers the world over.
Yeah.
The
That's
usual
us.
variety can be detonated by radio signals, timers, or electrical charges and inflict their damage on any objects within 20 meters.
Okay.
With an evasion saving throw for half damage. Victims within 40 meters take half damage with an evasion saving throw for none. So you want to be at least 40 meters away from it.
Perfect.
The charge is sufficient to blow a 4-meter wide hole in anything short of reinforced wall. PCs with a background in demolitions or fixed zero can shape the charges so it directs the blast in only one direction, sparing all but 2 meters of the rest.
That's good.
Yeah.
So
I
it can
don't
be
think we
shaped in
have
such a
that.
way that you have fixed zero.
I have fixed.
Oh, I see. I misunderstood.
Yeah,
And I could
in a
have
background
some-
or demolitions or a fixed zero
Got it.
skill.
Okay.
I could have a little bit of background.
I
with
think you might have a
explosives.
background in
Just a
explosives.
little.
Beloved
You are
by
both
Beloved
terrorists
by
and
terrorists and
adventurers.
adventurers the
So
world
you're
over.
both.
That's me.
That's actually tattooed on Micah's back.
So demo charges, that's what that is. You can explode it just like you want, or you can kind of try and shape it onto a thing to blow something in a particular direction. May clear out some I don't know, rocks or something if you want to go down a collapsed passage or anything. Anything more that you guys want to do in order to prepare?
I have one other thing I would like to consult the
Yeah.
group about. This is difficult for me to contemplate, but I do technically have the ability. When I die, I don't die normally. When I am damaged, either in combat or via accidents or anything like that, hard enough, I get broken. And then there's the option to repair my body. And then I would need to return here and fix it up properly. And if it was damaged a second time, between being fixed in the field and returning here, I would be trapped in a non-functional body. There is another option for me, which involves activating a self-destruct in my core. I have the ability to turn this on, and what that would mean is out in the field, if I am damaged significantly, that goes off, and my consciousness returns here to the ship, and my body is destroyed. It is a thing that I have been contemplating. It is not currently on, but it is a thing I have been contemplating turning on for some time, but I do not know what to do. And I do not know which option is better. And I am stuck in indecision. Please help.
Cool. Great. So, I mean, it depends on what you'd rather do, I suppose. One thing I will say, Nona, is most of us end up together when we go off on missions. We run a pretty tight formation. So if you go down and do explode, that might not necessarily be the best in a lot of cases.
It is not capable of damaging outside of the body. It is ensuring that the core itself is destroyed such that I return to my smaller backup core.
Got it.
It is not a danger to others around me, as much as Jeff would like it to be, because he thinks that's very funny.
I would just like to see Nona say, well, I'm out.
Yeah, Nona, I mean, that seems like a very personal choice. I don't know if there's like a right answer there. Because I mean, you probably like having your body, right?
I do very much enjoy it, but
Yeah.
it is not necessarily myself. And I am terrified of being trapped in a sense deprived state for the rest of eternity.
Right. Well, I don't know. If you did go down and that state happened, we would do our best to get you back so you could be repaired. But I mean, we could always talk to, well, I guess Dr. Leggett doesn't necessarily know about this, but like he'd probably be the best person to turn to.
Oh,
if we
Dr.
wanted
Leggett does know about this.
What?
He's aware. Remember, Claire said he knows.
So he was trying to figure it out. Did he figure it out?
Yeah, it was saying he was like on the path to like possibly thinking about it. Like,
Did he tell you he figured it out?
Yes, he knows.
oh, okay.
You're fine with this?
I contemplated for a few moments about whether or not we should kill him, but then I decided him being alive would probably be better.
That's what we tend to decide.
Yes, I have noticed this. That was part of the judgment, in fact. It is what tipped it in a certain direction.
Oh, okay. I mean, I suppose it's good to have like, you know, those things kind of. I agree with the general decision at the end of everything, but you know,
The not killing of Dr.
Yeah, it shouldn't necessarily be like because there were instances in the past that we also did that, although that is what we tend to do.
So you're saying we are against human trafficking and murder in general?
Yeah,
I think
Well,
we would.
define murder.
What if Tony?
I'm
Are
gonna kill
we
him. I'm gonna murder the shit out of Tony.
These rules are very, very complicated.
I'm gonna send Tony right back to his ship. No, that was a joke. Sorry.
So anyway, all right. Well, that's good to know. Great. That even makes the conversation easier with Dr. Leggett. Again, it's definitely up to you. I imagine that if the worst end with you not self-detonating did happen, we would definitely work to, fix your core, release your consciousness. But if you don't want to risk that, I think we'd all understand if you wanted to be safe and send the consciousness back to the ship. It's a very personal decision, but that's what I think.
Yeah. How long does it take you to change that setting?
It's very much if the larger core is destroyed, then the secondary core takes over instantly.
How long does it take to
change.
flip?
Yeah, how long does it take you to
decent
change?
amount. It's not a switch flip.
Oh, okay.
It is basically the installation of. Actually, we should just talk about this. Make sure I've got it right. It's the installation of explosives in my body, so I can turn it on and turn it off, but very much like give me an entire night kind of deal.
It's a couple of hours to set up or like take apart
Yeah.
It's not something that you can easily just flip the switch on and off. It has to be a choice, kind of.
Yeah. And like time invested in it.
Okay.
So that might not be a good idea to try and install right now when we only have a few hours as is.
Yeah. I
Fair
think
enough.
for this case, yeah, there is another option as well. If you are by one of those consoles, can you escape into Wickliffe if it really came down to it?
I think I could be connected to Wickliffe, but I am. She leans down and taps on her chest, and just like I assume, roughly in the
opens-
Iron Man way,
yeah,
the chest
basically,
opens up,
yes.
and this blue thing just comes out and is sitting in front of me.
Alex
This-
covers Claire's eyes.
That's so cool.
This is me. This is not me. And she sort of wiggles her hands around because it's an audio medium.
This is an audio medium.
It took me a moment. Caffeine's still kicking in. This is me. And she points at the glowing blue orb. Hold up. I gotta.
Yeah, what color blue?
I got it.
Flavor of blue.
Oh, I know.
Was it
it's-
azure?
It's turquoise.
Yeah,
I claimed
azure is, I
turquoise.
think, Quinn.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We're learning about colors, people. There are many shades of blue. Yes, I'm turquoise.
Cool.
Yep. And then I'm going to notice that people are looking at me kind of weird, so I'm just going to put it back in.
That was cool.
Thank you.
I don't think I've seen that before. Anyhow,
Okay.
what were we talking about?
Okay. It sounds to me like what is happening is I'm going to leave it off for now. This means that I am once again putting my life in your hands. Please make sure I get back.
Yeah.
Don't leave
Yeah.
me out there.
We
Definitely.
we also put our lives in your hands, Nona. Like every time you do a spike drill or something like that. It's what, we do.
This I am starting to realize, and I will endeavor to perform adequately.
Hey, here's to not getting killed.
Good team.
Not getting killed on 3. 1, 2, 3. Not getting killed. We need to come up with a better cheer.
Yeah, I am realizing that my fear of death is not as unique as I originally supposed, but I will.
You know what? It's better to fear it than to rush into it. So,
And you have done your best to protect me, which I very much appreciate. And now it is my turn. And at that, the robots come in.
How many robots?
I have,
It's 4?
without EDI, I have 4 of them.
Right. One is Juan.
One is Juan. He has been patched up and
Two
repaired.
are
2 is you.
Pre-tech security
3 is me.
bots. And a pre-tech leader bot. And the pre-tech leader bot is capable of wielding a 2-handed weapon, which he has.
What weapon does he have?
I actually haven't decided. I was going to pull from our stock because I think we
We've
didn't get
got
one.
an assortment. Yeah.
Like the Terran Mandate, like combat rifle or something like
Yeah.
those.
You said we had submachine. That could be kind of fun.
Submachine gun. Yep. Pre-tech.
I'm going to take one of those.
Those can be fired in burst mode, I think.
Yes, they can.
And they also remember, so these weapons, they also get a +1 to hit and damage because they're pre-tech. And then additionally, while they do reload, they take like a moment to reload.
And it does that weird air thing.
Yes, they are. It replenish. It doesn't require bullets to operate.
Right.
It sort of takes in elements from the atmosphere and uses them to put together bullets.
Okay, so we've got 3 sort of. We've got Juan, we've got 2 pre-tech security bots. And the reason why they need single-handed weapons is because they also come with their little stun baton.
Yep.
So I didn't want them to have to prop on a stun stick. So they've got both a melee weapon and a little gun. And now we have a robot army. Get excited, y'all.
All right.
All right.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
all I wanted.
Maybe we shouldn't have brought red.
Yeah. I didn't realize this was on the menu for today.
I hope they all fit on the ship that'll gonna get this there. I don't know how tomorrow. We'll figure it out.
So you guys are actually in the Phoenix right now. So additionally, Arcus and Barry would meet up real quick to figure out the lowdown.
Are they can be there? What's their
They're in the
adventure
Phoenix.
looking like?
Hmm?
Well, because they were
Aren't
gonna
they
go
headed-
to the field or whatever.
Yeah. We were.
Argus.
Hello.
There you are.
She's waiting for you.
Because the Firefangs aren't currently in Novavoxus and we both have passes, we were just gonna see if we can get, a car of some kind and maybe drive over. It doesn't seem like actually, now that I'm saying that, a good idea, considering that there's really only one road and it goes to the lake instead of, so we might need to get a fighter of some kind.
We could take you
ATV.
back to the X-Wing.
Okay.
Does
Yeah.
that work?
No, that's good.
We can see if it's still there.
Yeah.
Did you take the wings off of that, or is that something else?
No.
that
We
would
would
be
have
to
to
put it
take
in
the
then.
wings off of it in order to fit it in our ship garage.
Okay, yeah.
We did not take the wings off of it. We hid it. We covered it in leaves. We moved it off the path. But
Barry is off to the side, kind of having his arms crossed, and says, "Yeah. If we can get back to the fighter, I can fly us over there to the outskirts of camp, probably outside of their radar, and then we'll have to probably hoof it the rest of the way, but we can get there."
would you also be willing to be near the plane if we end up needing help?
I suppose that's something that we could try and sort of figure out. Probably. If I thought you guys were already going to get a ride.
Yes, this is Alex has recently pointed out the wisdom of making backup plans for when things, I believe, as others have put it, go to shit.
Right. Yeah, we can certainly do that. I don't think I'd be able to take all of you guys in the fighter. We can only, the most people that could probably fit in that is, 4 or 5 people, and Arcus and myself are already 2.
Given that it is a fighter, I'm assuming it has guns.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure what you want me to shoot, but
Well, we'll decide that later. Just having the access to it.
we can be on call if you need us.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And Arcus kind of just excitedly shakes his head at you guys and is like, "All right, could you drop us off at the fighter then?"
We do that.
Yeah, we're not gonna. It's a little bit ways off, but you're able to
We're
do that.
And
already
it's still there?
here.
And it's still there and no one stole it?
It's still there. No one stole it. It's covered by the different vegetation that you put over top of it. It's fine.
Yeah.
One of these days, I'm going to steal something from you, though.
I
It's
try
not
really
today.
hard. I try really hard, but anything not in my sight just vanishes constantly.
It's only happened once, and it was Claire. So you guys have that done. Is there anything else that you guys want to do in order to prepare for this?
I think we're pretty well prepared.
Mhm.
Okay, so you head back to Novavoxus. You get a shuttle back to the Firefang's headquarters, where things are starting to, things seem busier and busier. You see munitions being carried towards the cliff and the looming megastructure that is perched on top of it. Different forms of mortars, and then additionally some rocket launchers of some kind. A lot of heavy weaponry. An Ursim that you haven't seen before, also very similarly colored to Picledes, Terry, and Rodana. Same sort of the black eye patches on white fur. Hands you a crate and says, "You guys looking for 5 rebreathers, 4 mag pistols, and 3 demo charges?"
That's it.
All right, here you go.
That's
And
us.
Alex, you since you spoke up, he just sort of hands you this quite large box that is made of just wood, and as soon as he lays it in your hands, he just drops it. And it's quite heavy.
Do you want me to? Do you want this, or should I double it and give it to the next person?
I will help lift that?
I can grab it.
Well, I mean, like, yeah. Okay, great. Everybody grab one.
Wait, grab one. What?
I think
Grab
there's just
the
one box.
Equipment.
Oh yeah.
We don't
There's-
need the box.
so
It's a
there's-
nice box. Do you want
yeah.
this back?
No, you can just leave it there.
I would like
care.
this box.
All right, you have a box now.
Yes.
Are you carrying this box with
No.
Put it on the group inventory.
I'll come back for it later, though. It's mine now.
you?
Make sure it doesn't have wood lice.
Oh, good call.
Red
Good call.
is with you, takes one of the rebreathers. The mag pistols all go to Nona and her 3. Right. 1 to Juan, 1 to, and 2 to the other. And then 1 for you as well.
So the other one was if we had decided that EDI was coming with and we were comfortable giving him a gun.
Okay, so you just have a spare.
I think we
now?
just have a spare. I'm
Okay.
okay with. I think. Well,
You can
me
leave it.
having a gun might be useful. Let me look at my carry weight really fast, or we can continue and I can figure this out.
Yeah, you'll either have 3 mag pistols or 4 mag pistols, whatever works. And who gets the demo charges? Because I want you to put them on your sheet.
I guess I will hold on to those. How much do they weigh?
The demo charges are an encumbrance each.
Okay.
Is that something you can carry? They
It
can't
is.
they cannot be packaged together.
Yeah, as long as I'm not bringing my toolkit, which I'm not.
Notice your toolkit.
Yeah, I'm bringing my toolkit.
Okay.
I'm bringing all the fixie stuff. Also, I will call out. I still have 2 grenades and 2 flashbangs that exist from before.
Okay. So you guys go over your materials. Volker has landed with the shuttle. Red is with you. So you've got the 4 of you. That includes Claire. You have 4 robots with you. 3 security robots of some kind. 2 of those pre-tech. 1 of the leader bots, which is more built for combat, has better stats. And then also Red. So that is 9 of you going into this cave.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I didn't want the
all-
bears, because we can have robots instead.
That's completely fair. And you're all geared up, and you'll be heading to the Wickliffe Caverns next time.
Whoa.
Amazing.
Another planning session. We got it in.
We're
But
gonna do it.
action. Action's coming.
We're gonna do
It's
it.
coming. It's gonna happen.
I liked my robot review.
I liked your robot review. I also knew it beforehand.
Yes, you did. I thought you forgot there for a moment.
I did forget there for a moment, but then I was like,